This week I have some appropriately themed seasonal Star Trek art, along with just one that I liked. We got some news on a loss in the family, as well as a recipient of a medal, and more news on Star Trek Legacy and what we need to do to make sure that that happens. Yeah, this is the Star Trek Void, where I try to fill in the gaps between new episodes with a little news, a little information, and hopefully a little bit of entertainment. And this week I do want to start off with the loss of Terry Garr. This shared by TrekMovie.com. We're so sad to hear that the great Terry Garr has died. She's best known for her radiant performance in Mel Brooks movies and her Oscar nom for Tootsie. But Star Trek fans always remember her from the original series Assignment Earth. Our deepest condolences to her family and friends. This was unexpected to me. I still picture her from her age as playing Mr. Mom's wife. And yeah, this was shocking, and she's gonna be missed because she was a big part of my viewing experiences growing up. We were really lucky to have had her in our franchise. It's weird because I do know her from Toots, but that role in Mr. Mom is what sticks in my head. I think mostly because she was an example of a woman working. My mom was a working mom, and I think that made sense to me that she was a working mom, and I think it also put into a new light my mom's job. So yeah, just a side note, personal, that I wanted to throw in. Moving on to news about Kate Mulgrew. Speaking of memorable women who made an impact in my life, watching them on television, the great Kate Mulgrew will be doing the introduction for the documentary To the Journey. It's official. Kate Mulgrew will be our guest of honor, the captain herself, with the intro to our film. Link in our bio for tickets. I'll include that down below. That way, if you are able to, you can join them. If you are in the vicinity. Other fun things to celebrate. Halloween is coming up tomorrow, and I thought these would be a great way to celebrate. Although the smashed pumpkin, maybe not so much. That's the one that, yeah, it's had a bad day. Typical. Halloween, siren, fire, bad stuff is going on apparently, but I liked this. I mean, if you can do this, I'm not as talented as this. We're lucky if we get a face, two eyes, and an actual nose, and not a hole that just is the middle of the face. This is really well done. I enjoyed it. I thought I would share it. If you have not carved your pumpkin yet, might have a minute or two. Go ahead and do that because it's always Star Trek time. Definitely Starfleet time. And another bit of art I really wanted to throw up here. I love the posters, the imagination, and Will Wong has been so great when it comes to legacy. Star Trek Legacy, Star Trek art, Will 197 art. This guy is fantastic and comes up with some really fun ideas. I enjoyed this one. It was very, I don't know, I was thinking it was like needlepoint at first when I first saw it because of the font on top here, but an 8-bit adventure. It wasn't needlepoint. It's just really old computer font. But no, I like this. I thought it was really simple and fun, and let's share it. Follow Will because he comes out with some great stuff just on a regular occasion and shares it. And I'm going to talk Legacy a little bit more at the end, but right now we're going to skip over to some Strange New Worlds because there's some things I just wanted to chat about just real quick. Now, I think the second season of Strange New Worlds kind of got mixed reviews, and I'm not really sure why because I personally really enjoyed it. Maybe it was because they kind of stuck with a Gorn storyline and people really wanted more of a one shot, but since I enjoy a seasonal arc, I liked it. And I enjoyed the new engineer as well. Carol has done a fantastic job, but it has left people kind of wondering what's going to happen with season 3. And I think that what we've seen so far is giving us some positive ideas and, some hope because this scene in particular got some thumbs up. But for me personally, it's this clip that really gets me excited. I was very concerned when half of our ship crew just sort of is kidnapped by the Gorn. So the fact they are, seemingly getting right into it makes me very excited and does kind of get me excited for, an announcement date as to when it might happen. But also hope that this season might have a little bit more to it. We're going to be using more of the cast a little bit more, especially here at the beginning. I'm really excited for it to start. Let me know what your thoughts are about the new season of Strange New Worlds down below. And are you excited about it? Or are you concerned that the story is kind of going downhill? Returning to slightly older Trek, wow, can you believe the reboot reboot is actually considered older Trek now. It's like 10 years since it's been, well, no, 8 years since we've got the last movie. Anyway, Zoe Saldana wants her to move beyond the comms station in Star Trek 4. Yes, with an interview with Variety, she had a little something to say about Uhura and how she would have grown over the past 8 years. There has this huge time gap, and we expect that that's going to be respected just as much as it was for the original series actors when they came back to do movies. Of course, the movies is all these actors have ever done. There was no series for them, so it wasn't like it was a big change. However, they did, I think, expect to get a little bit more in a row. Unfortunately, what we're hearing is that we're still going to be getting that prequel before we get this number 4 movie for this, but the actors are all up for it, just waiting for a script if it happens to show up. They seem to be ready to step back up into those roles. Now, of course, Zoe is also known for her Guardians of the Galaxy role as Gamora, of course. However, we know her as Ahura just as well. Well, I'm a dork, so I watch both, but here's what she had to say about taking up the role once again. According to Variety, as for Uhura, Saldana would like to see her ascend to a leadership position in Star Trek 4. She's a xenolinguistic master, but I would like to see her doing something else, Saldana says. I'm curious to see her relationship with Spock, Zachary Quinto, and how that has evolved. That's fair. In this version of Trek, would there be a little Spock Jr. running around? That would be interesting. This article also points out that both Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto have recently stated that there would be no issues with there being a big time gap between films, noting the original Star Trek actors performed well into their 50s, 60s, and although he added, we not be running as fast on other planets, which is, that's a fair point. You can't, I'm older, I can't run as fast either. That actually was Zachary Quinto who stated that. Chris Pine himself says he wants to see how James Kirk is getting a lot older. A lot older. Again, it's only been 8 years. It's not like it's been 20. Anywho, as far as Zoe, according to Variety, she's only holding half her breath as she waits to read a script. In the first years when these sequels were becoming a thing in my life, I wouldn't do anything. I would just live my life and wait, she says. Now I'm learning that there's so many things I want to do. I'm like, hey, what's out there? And that's fair. It's great to see that these actors are still interested in it when that opportunity does arise. Who knows when that might be. But I'm also glad to see that she's out there doing other things. She's been producing. She's obviously given us other performances since then. And so, keep in shape, keep those acting skills sharp. Someday, hopefully, we will get that part 4. Switching gears again, TrekMovie.com wants to share some other cool information with us. Levar Burton awarded with National Humanities Medal at White House ceremony. And this award is given to folks who have enriched our world through writing that moves and inspires us, scholarships that enlarge our understanding of the past, and through their dedication to education, informing, and giving voice to communities and histories often overlooked. That's the descriptions by the NEH Chair Shelley C. Lowe in a statement announcing the recipients. This is no shock. LeVar Burton has been an amazing inspiration to people who have wanted to read, to educate themselves, to better themselves. I can tell you in our house, he was a very important person. Real quick, my sister is dyslexic, and books were a difficult thing, but a necessary thing in her life. So when we would get home from school, whether our homework was done or not, and this was very much against the rules, if Reading Rainbow was still on when we got off the bus, we turned on the television, and she watched a story being read to her, several stories being read to her, whenever she could. This really opened her up to stories and storytelling. She very much enjoys Star Trek. You may know her as the dyslexic Trekkie, and she's even written some books herself. So, he deserves any kind of accolades he can get for inspiring, for educating, for just being the man he has been to allow others to open up new worlds for themselves. He's also a very wise man. LeVar Burton makes so much sense for Star Trek Legacy to follow Starfleet Academy. Okay, we've said this as well. We completely agree. In this article, he acknowledges that fans want it and that it would be not only enjoyed and accepted by the vast majority of the fandom, but it's wanted, it's needed, quite frankly, to follow up Picard. He's quoted as saying, I think Picard was reflecting genuinely the sentiment, and now, at least for us, the cast, and the audience, 2 years on, seem to be just as interested in the idea of legacy as when Picard was just airing. I'm not close to the brain trust over there, but I see that they are all in on Starfleet Academy, which we're fine with. That's all right. And in the age of cutting back and retrenching in the entertainment space, I imagine they're going to focus on that until they feel like they might be able to focus on something else. We're okay with that. We understand. And I would think that given the opportunity and the resources that they would want to do this, it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. We agree. We understand that it's unlikely that we'll get Legacy before the end of in Strange New Worlds. Maybe they'll be making it during the fifth season airing as they're wrapping it up, if they follow the 5 season model we seem to be seeing developing. And yes, that might mean they have 2 properties in development at the same time if Starfleet Academy also follows that 5 season trend. And all that means for you and I who want Star Trek Legacy is that we're going to have to be patient, and we're going to have to continue to keep asking for it and make sure that Paramount Plus is aware that it is wanted. And you know what? If we say it loud enough, maybe we can get Paramount Global to listen and put it on television rather than making it a streaming service. It's not really doing them any good putting Star Trek only on streaming. So, maybe we be loud about that as well. Now, that is everything I'm going to share with you today. I hope you did get a little something from it, and let me know below if you have any opinions or thoughts on any of the things that I've shared today. I generally do get back to people in the comments one way or the other, whether it's on the next Star Trek Void or if I answer below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you enjoy the way I present the material, please subscribe to this channel. There will be one. They come once a week, just not sure what day. Kind of depends on my schedule and what's going on in the Trek world. Thank you again to my members. I really do appreciate that extra support. If you'd like to catch up on any of the other Star Trek Voids, go check out my Star Trek Void playlist. There's quite a few videos there now, and you never know what you might find. Did you know Worf is going to be a comic book writer? Is already a comic book writer. That was a story I did a long while ago. Anyway, go check those out, and whichever video you happen to choose, I'll see you there.